Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be going over the 5 characters in the game that I think improve the most based off of theory, because in practice there are a lot of characters in this game that struggle a lot just because their tech is super hard, maybe their neutral is very demanding, but I think in practice some of these characters get so much better. We're going to talk about the 5 main ones today. A lot of these characters are already within that top tier range, but I think they could go from like being top 15 to like top 5, maybe even best in the game with some of their insane tech. So hope you guys enjoy and let's get right into it. And the first character we're going to talk about is going to be Link. Now, I've already talked a pretty decent amount about Link on this channel, but this character still has so much potential that I feel like people are not talking about enough, because I think in practice, Young Link is the best Link. And then there's a bit of an argument between Toon Link and Link. I still think it's Link, but also I think very highly of this character, so I can see either one. But with Bomb Tech with Link specifically, this character is in theory like top 5, because with bomb tech essentially that means is every single time you get hit with like a little tick of Link's bomb, let's say he throws the bomb into you and he's close enough to pick it up again, you are literally just dead, because he has 0 to deaths off bomb Z drops. He has 0 to death combos off bomb Z drops where he can do I don't even know the combo stuff, but like bomb nair, down air stuff. Like those are all very real combos, but they are incredibly hard. Some of them are task level, which is really unfortunate because this character just has so much potential that we don't get to see. But there's also, with even out the task stuff, I still feel like Link players, the way they use bomb, it's really difficult to be using it correctly, because there's kind of 2 ways Link players are going to use bomb. There's one way where they're going to use it for their recovery, so they just never use bomb in neutral, or they never use it for the setups. They just need it so they have a really, really good recovery. And this is probably right now the best way to play Link, just to ensure that you can always make it back, because this is probably the character's biggest flaw. But then there's characters that, or either players that use Link, so they'll have his bomb like on the ledge, maybe they'll use it for pressure, they'll throw it off stage sometimes. A lot of ways to play Link right now revolve around how are you using your bomb. And I think as bomb usage gets better, the character is going to get better and better, because people are going to figure out, okay, here's scenarios where I'm actually safe to have bomb at all times, so I can create this new pressure, and then I'll still be able to have bomb when I need to recover if the worst thing happens. So I think that could be really sick, as well as people just doing like some of this insane tech. Like, not all of the 0 to dust stuff is TAS. It's like kind of TAS for tournament, because it's like it's really, really hard to do it consistently, but it's definitely not impossible. And I would really, really love if Link players just started doing this insane stuff in tournament. I think that could increase the character a lot, because he already has some really strong normal options. His specials are incredible. His killing's amazing. Like, Link just has so much potential, and I think with Bombo combos, it could get way, way better. So that is going to be my first character. Now, the next character is going to be a character that a lot of people have been talking about recently because of Mutace, and that is going to be Peach. Now, Peach has so much potential, but this is probably the hardest character in Smash Ultimate, at least in terms on a tech level, because of how she works with float. Peach, if you don't know how float works, by the way, float just is like, it lets you float around, but the really good thing about it is that it doesn't give you short hop multipliers, so your attacks are dealing full damage in the air, which is huge. You just deal so much more damage. You'll see Peach as a character just does a ton of damage for every combo. Like, Peach will hit you for like 3 nairs, and you'll take like 40 or 30, and then she'll like, every Peach combo is doing so much, and that's because of the short hop multiplier being taken away with float. But you always have to be float canceling, you always have to be moving around with float, because Peach's mobility is really, really bad. Like, it's definitely the worst thing about her. But that's not even the crazy tech stuff that I'm talking about. I'm talking about some of the things that we saw Mutace doing in tournament, and that is turnip combos. So Peach, basically off every turnip hit, if she can recatch it, she can kill you, which is absolutely insane. It works on basically every character in the game. If not every character in the game, she can just drag you across the stage. She can end it with a kill move like a forward air or a back air. Peach's turnip setups are so incredible, and she also has setups out of shield, like footstool out of shield into turnip stuff. Like, Peach just has so much potential as a character with turnip stuff alone, and then you add all this other technical stuff with your float cancels, with like float cancel back air combos. Like, this character has so much potential, but she is so incredibly hard. The amount of work that you have to put in with Peach is like actually unreal. You look at Mutace, he's working like 3 full-time jobs just to win 1 neutral interaction. It is actually insane the amount of inputs that you have to do with this character to be really good. But if, in theory, the people are able to do this thing, Peach gets so much better as a character. Peach goes to like a top 5 character easily. If everyone's like hitting you touch off death, her neutral, it gets way better because she's just able to play outside of burst ranges better than any character in the game. Peach has the best microspacing in the game because of float by far. Like, I don't even think it's remotely close. Like, Peach's microspacing with float is incredible. Again, we saw Mutace use that really, really well at Genesis. It got him a lot of very crucial stocks. So I think Peach is a character that requires a lot a lot of work. But if you're able to do all these Peach combos, all this insane tech, then you're going to see really good results from this character. And out of all the characters on this list, we're probably seeing the most tech from Peach players. So all Peach players, you guys are doing a great job. Keep it up. Your character is broken when you play duo. Oh my god. And the next character that we're going to talk about has also been a hot topic recently because we are going through a renaissance with them right now, and that is going to be Ice Climbers. Ice Climbers, not out of nowhere, granted, but seemingly out of nowhere, just compared to what the results are before from these players, have been doing so incredibly well in both US and Japan. Like, they're having Big D in multiple top 8s, Futari and Harrison are in multiple top 8s. Like, this is actually unreal in a meta that should be eating Ice Climbers alive. These Touch of Death, really strong characters with massive disjoints should destroy Ice Climbers, but they find a way. And that's one because base Ice Climbers is actually pretty strong. The fact that, like, all your aerials are hitting for twice normally when you have Nana and Popo, of course. Ice Climbers just does a ton of damage. Like, it's actually absurd. They have some pretty quick options. Their bread and butters are really strong. Side B is one of the most broken moves in this game. It does like 20% or something ridiculous if you get full connect from both Ice Climbers, and it gives you insane drift and mobility. But that's not even the good stuff about Ice Climbers. The good stuff is the decent stuff. And we see some decent combos from Ice Climbers sometimes in bracket. Like, we'll see a decent combo to like 80%, and it's unreal. But these decent combos can kill, and you can 100% make Ice Climbers into a Kazuya-esque character, because off every single hit, off a grab, you are able to kill people, which is ridiculous. Though Ice Climbers will probably never reach that Kazuya level, just because, like, if you kill Nana, which people are still bad at doing, if you kill Nana, he becomes so much weaker as a character, as well as it just being like you don't have Electric, which is like this invincible option that you can just spam. I still think that Ice Climbers has a lot of improvement that we'll continue to see, but I think in theory this character is so much better than they are right now, which is kind of crazy to say because I thought Ice Climber was a character that was like dead, left in the dirt. We've never seen them rise because you have such oppressive characters like Cloud, like Aegis that'll just stuff them out every single time they get into a bracket. But the Ice Climber players are starting to figure out these matchups. Their combo and punish game is getting so much better, and I really think that we could see this character improve maybe the most out of every single character on this list, just because the meta for the decent combos have been getting pushed so much further. So I think Ice Climber is definitely a character that could improve a lot if we start seeing that decent combos. The next character is Pikachu, the in theory king, and Pikachu is already very strong. This character basically just doesn't have to deal with disadvantage at any point in the game. He doesn't have to deal with juggling because he can just kind of side B away and reset to the ledge, and he's really strong off the ledge because of Quick Attack. Quick Attack is such a broken option. It makes his recovery unbelievable as well because you can not only recover from basically everywhere, especially with double upsip, which is something that a lot of Pikachu players are starting to do now, which is super sick to see. It is very hard, but on box especially, like box Pikachu, I know it's cheating, but it's really good. As well as being able to grab the ledge from like above so you don't get two framed with the Pikachu. It's like a lot of characters can do this if you just grab the ledge above it. Like it's a weird, like I don't know if it's a glitch or something, but it just makes it so you can't get two framed essentially. So Pikachu basically just has no risk off stage, can't get two framed, doesn't have to deal with disadvantage, and then gets center stage essentially for free with Quick Attack. Like there are so many options off the ledge that you have for this character that is actually unreal. Plus having T-Joe is a really strong option. Having a killing grab is always nice. His grab game is incredible. Just has really good options. Best edge guarding in the game as well. But that's not even including the insane combos that this character has. Because that's probably where Pikachu struggles the most, is killing. It's really hard to kill with this character if you're not getting the setups, because even though you have a kill throw, it isn't till like later percents. It's like 170 starting to up throw kill. Maybe even that's a little generous on most stages. As well as like you kind of need a raw dash attack or raw forward air. A lot of your stuff isn't going to kill without it being fairly committal. And Pikachu forces a lot of 50-50s that other characters don't have, just because of how he's able to position himself. So like you either jump here and you get hit by this move, or you don't jump and you don't get hit by it. That's a 50-50 for the kill with Pikachu. Like dash attacks the same way. Like there's so many 50-50s that this character forces that could be avoided if Pikachu players were just able to land their kill confirms. Every time a Pikachu player gets a grab, you should be dying at essentially every percent, except like maybe this weird like 140 to 160 range, but like basically every time after that or before that, you should be dying to Pikachu grab, because he can do drag down combos, he can do up air loops on you. Like he has so many ways to kill you with so many moves. Like a lot of his stuff just leads into a kill. Drag down air leads into a kill. Back air leads to a kill. Certain hits of forward air and up air can lead to kills. There's so many ways that this character has to kill you, but there's also so many routes that you have to know. The combos are very, very difficult. So Pikachu is an incredibly hard character, which is something that kind of limits him. But again, this is in theory, and in theory, if Pikachu's like half of Pikachu's moves are killing you, and he doesn't really have to deal with disadvantage, this character is absolutely broken. But before we get to the last character, I do want to give honorable mentions to Snake, Sora, Sheik, Diddy Kong, and Rosalina. Rosalina probably the least out of all of them, but I did want to give her a mention just because she has so much insane tech. But even if with all this insane tech, like even to Buzz level of Rosalina, I still feel like that character only gets to like at the most optimistic look, like the bottom of top tier, like the bottom of top tier. So I don't think that character can go quite as far as the other ones, but like Snake has so many setups that are undiscovered, and like Snake players are only getting better with their grenade conversions. Sheik, just like if players are able to do her combos like super consistently, like all her drag down stuff, she's way scarier. Sora probably can improve the most out of everyone I mentioned just because of how potent his drag down combos are and how much better people are getting at them with the kill confirms especially. And then Diddy Kong as well just has a ton of potential with banana combos. Like that character's neutral is also really interesting to me. So I think those are all characters that should have been honorable mentions. But now on to the number one character. This list wasn't ordered before, or this video wasn't ordered rather, but there is definitely a number one. And the number one character in Smash that I think can improve the most is Steve, which is crazy because I have him at the second best character in the game already. A lot of people have him as number one, and I think most people, even if they're pessimistic, have him in their top 5 or top 10. But Steve just has so much undiscovered tech in bracket. And the amount of times that I see a Steve player, and this is no shot to any Steve players, I'm not going to name any names because they all do this, but they will up tilt someone and they'll get 5 up tilts and then they'll get a back air. Wow, that sounds like an insane combo. That did 60%. That is really, really bad. Like, really bad. You should be killing off every up tilt you get with Steve, and I'm not over exaggerating here. It is 100% possible off of every, like, jab, off of most grabs. Like, Steve players, the amount of unoptimized stuff that Steve players are doing in bracket is insane, but also that's because, like, in theory, every hit Steve gets should kill you, so obviously that's not realistic, but I think this character's ceiling is not even close to being reached, but I also think the counterplay is going to get better, which is definitely a factor. It's a factor for all of these characters, just matchups in tournament in general and counterplay, but even though the counterplay against Steve is getting better, that's mainly against, like, okay, now I don't get hit by minecart every time, and oh, now I know how to avoid anvil, here's how I destroy blocks safely. I think Steve players, if they just start doing these insane, like, broken combos in bracket, which they can do. The combos are hard, but they're not task level hard. They are definitely possible. I think Steve could become so much more impressive than he is, like, unbeatable levels of oppressive, healing you once off every single hit, having really strong camping, the best planking in the game. Like, Steve just has so much potential as a character that I think is undiscovered, and I think basically everyone is aware of that factor, so it's just kind of a thing of like, okay, are Steve players going to reach that point? And the answer is probably yes. So it's just like, how long do we have before this character is actually like just unbeatable? Hopefully, Smash 6 will be out by that point. But I thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm curious what you guys think. If there's any characters that you think have a ton of potential that I didn't mention, please let me know down below. These videos are really fun to do. I just kind of like talking about characters and stuff. There's not a lot of tournaments going on right now. So if you have any ideas similar to this, let me know down below. The support's been absolutely unreal lately. Thank you guys for everything. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.